Good afternoon. Today is May 2nd, 2025. Today I want to talk about just some general maintenance for your vacuum cleaner, and specifically if you have a Kirby vacuum cleaner. Now, these are just some basic things that you can do to maintain your Kirby. Now, right now it's May, and it's springtime going into summer. And the allergy season is here, so one of the best lines of defense against allergies is regular vacuuming. And, having a decent vacuum is always preferable, and a bagged vacuum is going to be better for you because it's going to trap everything right inside the bag. You're not going to have to expose yourself to the dust and everything. I don't care how good the filtration is on a bagless vacuum cleaner. There's no avoiding exposure to the dust. I mean, there's just no avoiding that. I don't care if it's outside. Many people say, oh, you just go outside to empty it. Well, it still blows around and it can still get on you, and you can still bring it back in the house. So generally, if you're shopping for a vacuum cleaner, especially if you have allergies, but really anyone, I recommend that you go bagged. You cannot go wrong with bagged. It's just going to be a cleaner machine overall. Now, Kirby is one of the oldest designs that's around, but it works. There's no need to change it. There's no need to reinvent it. It's all the way it's supposed to be. Yeah. You buy a Kirby for carpet cleaning and long-lasting performance. This particular one is a 1998. It's manufactured in January of 1998. So, this one is pushing 30 years old. However, it still works wonderfully, and I would argue it works better than the majority of modern vacuums today. So, anyway, with all that said, first of all, you want to make sure that you change your bag when it's full. Now, there's a couple bag options with Kirby's. And with Kirby's, I recommend you stick with the genuine bags. These machines are well over $1,000 new. So, I mean, if you made that investment, just treat it with respect and get genuine bags. Now, the first option here is a paper bag. This is the lowest level of filtration you're going to get, but it still does a good job. It's paper. It's got a little thin felt lining in it, so it's not just pure paper. So I would say if you don't have pets, if you don't have serious allergies, these would do fine. This is all that was available back in the 80s and the 90s. It wasn't until the 2000s that they started coming out with better filtration. Now, this is an old style. Anything 2009 and newer it's going to have a different style than that. But if yours is 2008 or older, it's going to have this hole that you just align the tabs and you turn it. So there's that. And always make sure that you change the bag when it gets full. There's a line here. I mean, you can fill it really full, but I mean, chances are it's just best to change it when it's needed. So now these are the least expensive option. So if you're tight on money, you can get, you know, these for less. But if you have more allergies, if you have pets, this is a better option here. These are a higher grade filtering bag. You can get a pack of 2 of them or 6 of them. These ones you can get a pack of 3 of them or 9 of them. So these ones here are these high efficiency cloth bags. Now they're just, you know, these look larger, but they're really not that much larger. They're just 2 sheets of material just, you know, heat sealed together. That's pretty much it. So again, genuine Kirby bag. Now this one looks a little different. This is for the newer style, but a lot of these, they have incorporated the older style in there as well. There's these 2 notches like we saw on the other one that you can line up and twist if you have an older model. Now if you have a newer model, this goes on a connector and then this flap pushes over and latches on. So really, like, if you're confused on, oh, I don't know which ones to get, I mean, just get the universal style and they'll fit, guaranteed. So now these, they're about $15 to $20 for 6 of them. But they're very big. They will last you a very long time. That's the one thing with Kirby vacuum cleaners is the bags last a very long time in the machine. I mean, I'm talking, for me, they would last about 6 months. I currently do not have any pets in my house. We're a household of 4 people. We do wear our shoes through the house, you know, not all the time, but we do, you know, so that makes a difference. And I'm not here to discuss whether you should or shouldn't. I mean, it's really up to you. It's your house. But that is going to make a difference. So what you're going to do is there's just a zipper on the back here. And you're going to open it up. And you're going to expose the bag here. Like I said, there's a full line here. You know, there's a little strap here. You're gonna pull that off, and then there's your bag. You want to make sure everything is all clean inside. That's part of the reason why I recommend using genuine bags, is usually the aftermarket are not great. They can blow by a lot of dust and let dust leak through. These could too, I suppose, but with these cloth ones here, you're guaranteed to not have that problem whatsoever. So, again, this is an older model, so you just twist until it lines up with the grooves, you pull it off, and what I like to do is I like to take some tape and just cover the hole, so that way it doesn't get disturbed, and blow back into your environment. But I also like to write the date on the cardboard. I don't know if you can see that, but I put this one in August 28th of 2023. So now I have more than one vacuum, so I kind of rotate. So this is not one that I use all the time, but for your average home, most people are just going to have one that they use for the whole house, so it may fill up quicker. So you're going to just line up the tabs, push it on, and then turn it, and it's on there. Grab the strap, put it on. And this strap is important because it holds the bag up so it can fill properly. Then you're going to tuck the bag in, make sure that it's all in there properly. Just kind of straighten it out if you can. Make sure that everything's kind of situated, nothing to worry about there. And close the zipper. That's it. Now, another thing with these bags, this outer cloth bag on a Kirby, is you have this boot here. This is called your mini emptor. There's a little slot for your hand to go underneath. You'll feel it. Then you're going to pull it away from the Kirby, and then you're going to lift straight off. Then you're going to release the top of the bag by pushing the release button on the top. And then sometimes debris, heavier debris, will collect inside of here. As you can hear, there's some rattling in here. Just want to get that out if you can. And then once you're ready to put it back on, you line up this indicator line with the indicator line on the metal part here, kind of at an angle. Gently place it down. Give it a twist. Push it towards the machine firmly. And then put your bag clip back on. You should be good to go. Now this needs to be firmly locked into place to activate the safety switch here, because if it doesn't activate the safety switch, your Kirby will not turn on. So if you ever have an issue where your Kirby is not turning on, make sure that this is properly installed. Because most likely it's not broken. I mean, Kirby is rarely breakdown. I mean, it takes a lot to kill these. So that's it for the bag. Now next is belts and brush relievers. Now you can get just aftermarket belts, and I'd say they work okay. These were just given to me by somebody who didn't have a use for them, so I'm using them. But the genuine Kirby belts are better. They're thicker. They've got a gnarling pattern on it, and they're just stronger. So I would recommend that you stick with genuine Kirby belts. Again, if these costed over $1,000 new, you might as well put the good stuff in it to keep it running good. So what you're going to do is you're going to raise the headlight, going to flip out the handle here. If yours is a G5 or newer, if yours is a Generation 4 or older, it doesn't have that handle. You just turn the whole thing. So there's green arrows and then there's red arrows. You're going to take this and you're going to turn it to the left until the red arrows line up. And you're going to unlock this. And then you're going to lift it off of the front of the Kirby. Now, while you're in here, you want to make sure that there's nothing caught in your fan. No strings or anything on this shaft. Just kind of remove any of that. Now, when you get this off, you're going to rotate the belt lifter back to the left until the green arrows line up. There are two latches here on the back of the nozzle, and you are going to unlock these latches and remove the rug plate. Set it aside. Now, something to note is there are 3 positions on these brush rolls. There's a number 1, a number 2, and a number 3. Generally, the rule of thumb is to leave it on number 1, but if yours is older and not making contact with the carpet, you can adjust it to number 2 or number 3 as it wears. So, in my case, it's set at number 1. So, just make a note of that before you pull it out, so that way you're not lost. Now, you can slide off the belt and put a new belt on. Now notice that the old belt is kind of stretched. I can still get life out of this belt, so I'm not going to worry about changing it just yet, but that is something to note. And while you're in here, you might as well clean off any hair, thread, string, whatever. Take a knife or scissors or whatever you have. Kind of cut all that and then just pull it off. Throw it away. You really don't want hair and string and all that to be caught up on this. So while you have it out, you might as well clean it. And the more you can keep off of it, the better the performance is going to be, and the longer your brush is going to last. If you let it build up too much hair, too much string, it can mash all the bristles and wear stuff out, and it can also end up in the bearings, which will lock it up and stuff, and then you'll need a new brush roll. So, new brush rolls aren't super expensive, but, if you can keep what you already have in the best working order and avoid having to replace it prematurely, that's always a good thing. It takes nothing to really just pull all this off, throw it in the trash. If it's dirty, you can take like a Clorox wipe and wipe it off. Everything like that. Now, I'm going to take your belt, I'm going to put it on, put it in the middle here. Still a few hairs on there. Okay. Now this magnet here is for the little green light on the top of the nozzle. There's a little bump in here that energizes that light. So that magnet is going to go on the side of that light. So you're going to rotate your ends here to the number 1 setting in my case. And if your brush is in very good shape like mine and pretty new, it's generally a good idea to just put it on number 1. Because if you put it on number 3 on a brand new brush, you're going to burn out belts and put more wear and tear on your machine, on your carpet. It's not going to help anything. So you're going to center that belt on the brush and take your rug plate. You're going to make sure these notches that stick out here are on the back. There's little grooves that just hook to the front. Pull it over. Then you lock this on like so. And then you're going to take your belt lifter, take it from the green arrows back to the red arrows. And with a new belt, that's going to be pretty tight. So just really pull hard, and it should help. But that's what this belt lifter is for. It helps give you leverage to get that belt up into position, so that way it's stretched up in the nozzle, so that way when you put it over here, it goes over the shaft. So you're going to take it. I like to carry it by the plastic belt lifter. That kind of helps me center it. You're going to feel it drop in on that latch there. You're going to push it up, and then you're going to rotate this latch. That's going to hold it on. And then you're going to take your belt lifter and turn it back to the green arrows. You're going to lower your headlight, and there you go. So that's just general basic maintenance on a Kirby vacuum. There's really not much to these. People make them seem really complicated, and they're really not. They're really some of the most simple machines you can get. It's just you gotta learn, how it all connects and stuff. It's different than your average vacuum, but I mean, once you get it down, I mean, it's a really simple concept. I mean, there's really nothing to it. You know, a repair on one of these is a lot more simple than, say, a repair on a Dyson or Miele or something like that. So, but yeah, with that proper maintenance, you shouldn't have any issues. Obviously, there's more things that can go out, like a light bulb and stuff, which I may do a separate video on that, on how to change the light bulb if yours happens to go out. The light is not absolutely necessary, but it's nice to have. And I recommend that you keep a belt on the handle, or even on this bag arm here. You attach the bag to, for example. So what you can do is take it off, put that belt over that arm, and then clip it on there. It's basically like a spare tire, if you will. You know, it's not going to be in the way, it's not going to hurt anything, it's just there so you can find it. And, you know, wherever you store the vacuum, whether it's in your closet or utility room or whatever, I mean, keep the bags with it so that way you know where they are. Yeah, and always run a bag. Don't ever run these without a bag, because you're just going to make a huge mess. I've seen people do that. Don't ever do that. It's going to be a huge mess, and you're most likely going to cause some issues and some damage to your machine. So, anyway, that is it for the maintenance on a Kirby vacuum cleaner. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.